So do you remember the last time you caught up with your accountant and you had the 30 minutes and all you could do is just hang in there, just waiting for the end? You're waiting for the end because you just want to know what's the bottom line. Did we make a profit or not? And really what was going on in your mind is, can we afford to buy that Gucci espresso machine in the office? That's what you're waiting for. Here's the thing is, a lot of people think that. A lot of people get into their accountant and they're just looking for the bottom line. Here's the truth. In 2018, I worked with over 465 entrepreneurs, and there was a common problem that most of them had, and it was simply this, that most of them are flying their businesses partially blind. What do you mean by that? They're flying their businesses by what we call VFR. Many years ago, I learned to fly, and in pilot training, you'll usually start off training, and when you're flying, you fly by visual flight rules. And visual flight rules means, just imagine you're sitting in the cockpit, you got some simple, very simple dials in front of you, and you can fly outside during the day when there's no clouds and it's nice sunny days, and you can see what's going on, you can see what's happening. It's a bit like I see entrepreneurs. What they end up doing is they're working out, how's your business going? And to know how their business is going, the first way that they have a measure of that is they just simply look at their bank account. How's the bank account going? Oh, the money's getting there. See, it should be okay. Or they're thinking like another good sign if they're flying by VFR is they're looking at their cash flow forecasting, and they do that on the back of an envelope or a post-it note. They're going, well, this is money coming in this week and this is what I need to pay. That's a sure sign that you're flying your jet fighter by VFR, visual flight rules. Here's the challenge though, that at some point there's going to be clouds, there's going to be something that's going to come on, there's going to be something, be it sunset, that you can't fly that thing anymore. And so what we really need to do is we need to be trained to fly our businesses by IFR. And IFR is instrument flight rules. So if you're looking in front of a cockpit of a NASA shuttle, that cockpit has a huge amount of dials, and the key principles around IFR is that you can block off the cockpit. You don't need to see where you're going, but you're just flying the shuttle by the instruments. You can fly more accurately using the instruments, which means that when you're flying the shuttle, you can fly through clouds, you can fly through the night, because you can see where you're traveling. Here's the truth, in business, there are 5 dials. There are 5 key dials that are super duper important to know and to be able to understand how to read. What I'm going to do is to help you understand what some of those dials are so you can fly your business through the good times and also maybe not so good times as well. Here it goes. The first key here, or the first principle on the 5 dials, is to make sure that you've got a profit and loss. And I'm not talking about a normal profit and loss. That's something that you might have to submit for your accountant or your tax reasons. We need to have a profit and loss that really gives you the data that you need to fly the jet fighter. 100% of every client that we will work with, we've had to change their charter accounts. We have to change the way they measure their profit and loss. We need to have a different way that we can measure our profit and our loss. That's the first dial. The second dial is a balance sheet. It's really interesting that how often I have entrepreneurs, especially small and medium-sized business owners, they'll come to us and I'll say, can you give us a balance sheet? So I haven't looked at my balance sheet for ages. I say, can you go to your accountant and ask them to give us your balance sheet? Now, a lot of accountants will do that. Most balance sheets are really not up to ship shape. The other thing, interesting, I hear this regularly. A lot of accountants have told the clients that we're working with, you don't need a balance sheet. I was like, what? The balance sheet is the ultimate scorecard as an entrepreneur. This is the ultimate scorecard. But in the balance sheet will tell you around how your product is going. It'll tell you around what your terms are like. It gives us a huge amount of data. The ratio between your receivables and your revenue, understanding that ratio will tell you if you're growing your business or you're scaling your business, whether your business is bloated or that it's a lean, mean fighting machine. So that's the second dial. The third dial is what's called a statement of cash flow. And one of the keys when you look at a profit and loss, the only true way, and in fact every listed company in the planet has their books done in accrual. Now, one of the challenges in accrual is you can't always see where the cash is going. It's the difference between accrual and cash accounting. I'm not going to talk about that now, but the key point though is we need to see where the cash is flowing. Like, where did the cash come in? Where did it go out? There are different sorts of cash. There's actually operating cash flow, there's financing cash flow, and there's investing cash flow. There's 3 types of cash flow. So we need to be able to understand, how did the cash performance of the business go? That's the 3rd dial. And the 4th dial is looking at having a 13-week rolling cash flow forecast. A 13-week rolling cash flow forecast lets us know in weekly increments what's happening with the cash flow. Because here's the truth. Sometimes there's times where you might have a lot more revenue coming in, and then there's times where you might have a lot more expenses that need to go out. We need to have the ability of adjusting those. Here's the truth. When you look at cash, cash is just a factor of time. The key with understanding how to do an accurate 13-week rolling cash flow forecast, the key to that is understanding how to manipulate the time in an effective way. And the 5th one, and you need to get the other 4 right to get this one, the 5th one is a strategic spending plan. How can you accurately predict the future? This is important to be able to anticipate and predict the future. The strategic spending plan is a way for you to pull together your capacity planning. It's a way for you to pull together what you're doing around your revenue and profit. It's a great way for you to understand how much money you need to invest in your marketing, in your sales, in your product development, and a whole stack of other things. You won't know that unless you have the other 4 dials. And here the thing is, little changes on one make a big difference on the other. So understanding how they all relate is super duper important. These are the 5 dials. This is how you can fly your business in good times or not. Here's the truth. At the end of the day, if you're flying for visual flight rules, at some point something's going to change. There's either going to be economic changes, there's going to be technology that's going to make a big difference. Or you know what? You can only fly a plane by VFR during the daytime. At some point, the sun is going to set. Let's make sure the sun doesn't set on your business, and that you get to learn how to accurately use these 5 dials. Now, it's not always easy. Accountants are trained on one area of putting it together. You kind of need to have someone or a team of people that can help you understand and relate this to your business. Now, if you've listened all the way to the end of this video, I know that you're super serious about business. And I left an amazing career as a commander in the Australian Navy because I believe that entrepreneurs are the backbone of every country in the planet. I want to help you. If you've listened this far and you want to have better clarity around these 5 dials and how that can make a massive difference to your business, then we've got an awesome group of entrepreneurs on a private Facebook group, and we share all the learnings of how we can pull this together. Now, we have a no BS policy, and I'm going to be very strict on enforcing that. If, however, you're flying and you can feel that it's sunset and it's getting pretty dire and you need some pretty quick changes and you want to get in quickly and you want to see how you can maximize your profit as fast as you possibly can, then send me a personal message and either myself or someone on my team will reach out and we'll have a meeting and we'll see what we can do to make some immediate change in your business.